Well, good evening, everybody. I was asked the other day, someone said to me, what is at our last event? Said, hey, how about giving us a little quick shop tour? We know you got in a couple of new pieces of equipment. How about giving us a little tour, a little taste of that? I said, I'd be happy to. Well, one of them right here is I know a lot of you have seen this before. It's a Blockmaster, and what it amounts to is that right here, right along this surface right here, is where your block goes. Now you got feet that you set it up on. If you have to adjust your height relative to your cutter, because the head will only go up. The head will only go up and down so far here. So you have feet, and that would be those pieces right there to mount your block on. Now, one of the things I want to show you while we're here, I've been working on a new product, and it's a product that's to clean, lubricate, protect. It's an oil type product on it. This surface right here, I've had done for about 3 weeks, and just put one coating of it on right here. I'm waiting on my labels. Should be done tomorrow, and then I'll have the product on the market within the next few days. Now, this surface over here, well, that's what the starting of it was. This was another product that was put onto this surface right here versus mine. And you're saying, well, that doesn't prove a lot, but I'm just saying, I've tried many products and got my lab to make this for me. Been working on this about a year now, but it's done. It'll be on the market within a week and a half to 2 weeks, all bottled up and ready to go. Another machine I got with it is also a head surfacing machine. Your head goes right onto here, that's onto here, right over to here, and then the cutter comes up underneath it, and that's how you cut it. It goes back and forth with a feed right here, passes back and forth. This cutter head passes back and forth. And for here, like so, it's got automatic feed. It goes back and forth there. Now, also a grind. Say if you're grinding like on a surface, a flywheel, something like that, you can grind it right here with it. Now then, some of the pieces. Here's my old workbench here. Now, how about that for a workbench? That's a 4 foot by 6 foot, 1 1/8 thick here, and it's pretty solid. It's you don't have to worry about that bench beating on it and it falling to the floor. My lathe here, this is a closing lathe. Some of you old guys out there remember these from your shop days on it. And still in good shape when I do a lot of manual work for, except if I'm doing experimental pieces or just making one of a kind for a knockoff for later. That's what I use right here. This, and of course the Bridgeport sitting right here behind me. Now, this right here is just a small cutoff wheel, is what it amounts to on it. Vice type here. There's the cutoff wheel itself on it. Now, how about this for a bandsaw? It's made by Kalamazoo, and this is a 3-phase. It's a 220 volt 3-phase. It's a pretty sturdy machine. Doesn't look like a whole lot, but this thing does extremely well. And of course, here is my Haas. Now this is only a 3. When I say a 3, say a 3-axis on the thing, versus some of the newer ones on the thing got 5, 7, 9, whatever axis on the thing. But this one does me just fine right here. Sitting inside this box here is the engine and transmission for the 55 on that project. Used oil valve, of course, and a compressor here just for in case the big one goes out over there. Got a little one to fall back on. Now, you're saying, do you have 3-phase out at your shop? No, but here's what we do have. There is the motor for the other leg of the 3-phase. So this one right here, just hook your 220 into that, and then the output on it is for the other leg of your 3-phase. So you got 3-phase power to power all the machines that I have into the shop here. And about all the machines I do have in here are 3-phase. There's a project truck right there, just finished. It's a 02 model, 3500, or 2500, 6-liter engine on it. And old truck does pretty good. It had a few things I had to do to it. It's ready for the road now. An older machine here I'm doing for a fella. When I say doing for him on the thing, going to clean it, paint it, give it back to him on it. And it's a head surfacing machine also. and it's a, I think it's in here is a Van Norman. Yeah, it is. It's a Van Norman machine. And it's called a rotary broach, but it's the same principle as the other one I showed you on it, in that the heads are placed right here, squeezed and bolted down. And then when you have that, then the cutter passes underneath it, come up, touch off on it, and the cutter passes underneath and take whatever that you need. Now, it's imperative that it be laid flat or you're going to have a crooked head. And my old trusty 2000 model Chevrolet pickup. This has been with me a long time. Needs a little cleanup, a little detail of itself right now. Detailers usually got the worst looking truck in town or the worst looking vehicle in town. But I do a lot of experimenting stuff with it and a lot of product testing with it. And of course I had to bring a lawnmower in here the other day. I got to change blades on it. And I want to show you this Bridgeport here. Now this is the epitome of the manual machine, if you will. But they do good for what they do. I mean, they do extremely well for what they do. People say, well, it's just a glorified a glorified drill press. Could be, but it's pretty accurate. It does very well. And of course, it's a typical press here. And then, well, there's a Lightning parked over here, waiting for me to come over and detail it a little more, although it's in pretty good shape right now. And of course, you need nuts and bolts. This happened to be the name of the company that gave me this one here. Bolts and nuts, or, I'm displaying theirs for them. And then you need some toolbox for your tools. That's some I have bought, just empty boxes. They doing any good? No, them's to be thrown out. And I do some, if you're taking your parts, and I got a media that I use in here, and what it is, you turn this on, and then this drum, you got your media in here, then whatever part you want to deburr, turns it right around in our transmission jack, as we well know. And another air compressor here. I have this one here, and the one sitting well over on the other side of the truck over there is another large one. It's made by Snap-on, and this one here is just pretty much the same size on it, but this one here is a Bel Air, and I think it's just a private label brand. Probably Ingersoll ran maybe private labels or whatever. And this right here, a Buick Grand National. These things they got the most unique sound to them. One thing, factory exhaust on it. Old car does well. It took a little while to get it back in order, but it's all ready to go right now. And still need the radio for it. So guys, I'm making a plea once again for a nice stock. I would like to have one with the equalizer in it for an 87 Buick Grand National. And what's sitting right here? Well, it's a Coyote engine with an 8-speed. Goes in a Mustang I got sitting outside. And I got that from Next Gen Parts up in the New England area. Guys got some real good stuff up there. There's the pan, the floor pan, and the trunk pan for the 55. And there sits the frame for it right underneath here. Right there. I mean, it's just a little bit of it underneath here, you can see. I mean, it's got the rack and pinion way up in the front. Good looking setup. It's dropped about 3 inches, maybe 3 to 4 inches from what standard ride height is on a 55. Bolts right up to the 55 body, but this thing here is nice. It's got a Ford 9-inch setup in it. Right back there, about that. With a 360 gear, also 4-link setup in it, ready to go, and that's for the 55. This one here, finally finished this out, put a new bed. Oh, it's a labor of love is what this one right here is. One of those products you work on it for so long, you finally say, as soon as I get you done, I'm selling you. So this one here will be for sale. I'm going to buff it out one more time, and then it'll be in someone else's home, making them happy. Of course, back to the Corvette. This is one I had on the Rocky Mountain Race Week. It done extremely well. It did not let me down. And then, of course, over there sitting beside it is a 64 El Camino big block car. Now, it didn't come with a big block. I put it in there, and it's a real 427 with a Rock Crusher 4-speed in it. The drivetrain's probably worth more than the car, if you know what I mean. It's a real 69 model 427 4-bolt main with matching square port heads, which is kind of unusual. When I say matching, I'm talking about matching numbers, square port heads on it. Now then, an exercise machine. Well, I do use it some, not a lot, not as much as I should, but I do use it some on it. And of course, the parts washer's sitting way over here by itself and up against the wall. But in here, everything does work. On the thing, if it doesn't work, it doesn't stay here. How about this for an old Sioux valve grinder? Everything works. It's pretty accurate. You know, right down there's that's the motor for the head. You know, for grinding the actual seats on it. Steam cleaner right here, and I do use that quite a bit. And because outside I got a lift out there to raise one up, wash out the underneath. Anyway, not much of a shop tour, and like I said, it's a pretty good old truck right here. Of course, it's like a lot of GM stuff. The clear coat has seen better days up here on the topical surfaces on it. The sides aren't bad, but it's not a two-tone, if you know what I mean. So anyway, that will be it for right now, and hope you guys like it. If not, let me know and we'll redo it. Thank you so much.